Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning everyone. How are you? We are from group 1 and today we will present our material about cognitive learning theories. But before that I wanted to introduce our group members. My name is Retno Nurul Anissa and my friends are Meti Nuranisa, Sausa Mancana Bila and Jusi Permata. So, I will start explaining the first material, which is about the background of cognitive learning theories. Cognitive learning is an active style of learning that focuses on helping you learn how to maximize your brain's potential. It makes it easier for you to connect new information with exciting ideas, hints deepening your memory and retention capacity. Cognitive learning theory explains how internal and external factors influence an individual's mental processes to supplement learning.
My name is Metira Anissa. I will tell you about principle. Cognitive learning principles are ways to apply conscious thought to our learning activities, which help us control our learning behavior and motivate ourselves toward more profitable results. They are based on certain key principles. 1. Cognitive learning principle focus on what you know rather than your response to stimuli. When you are applying a cognitive learning principle, you are acting on your thought processes and connecting them to your memories rather than merely responding to what is happening to you or how you are feeling. This tends to make you a more effective learner. 2. Cognitive learning principles emphasize structure. They focus on connection and order. As you connect the dots between your new information and your previous information, the result is more effective learning. 3. Cognitive learning principles are based on plans, active approaches, and profitability. Instead of being someone who passively experiences a situation, the student, teacher, or other participant become someone who is acting on the information they're receiving, using it, and learning from it.
I'm Sasa Marjanabila. I want to tell you about usual classroom technique. 3 to 1 format. The 3 to 1 format is a quick reflective activity similar to Think Pair Share. It encourages students to reflect on a course experience and organize their thoughts and identify areas of confusion or concern. Similar to Minutes Paper, Madius Point, and Think Pair Share, the 3 to 1 format can be a helpful tool for getting students to organize their thoughts and promote reflection and metacognition. This activity provides an easy way to check for understanding and gauge student interest. It is also an effective way to promote, discuss, or review material. This activity would traditionally be introduced toward the end of a lesson or after a lecture. It could also be used in response to an aside reading. In reaction to present content, students are asked to take a few moments and jot down. In 3. Ideas or issues from what was present. 2. Example or uses for how the ideas could be implemented. 1. Unresolved area or Madi's point. Students are then asked to share their ideas in pairs or small groups. Use the responses to help guide teaching decisions. Consider areas of curriculum that need to be reviewed again, or specific concepts or activities that are most interesting for students. Characteristic of a cognitive class. There has been preliminary research that has focused on cognitive characteristics in Rubinstein-Taybi syndrome. Cognitive characteristic refers to brain-based process. The preliminary research suggests that the repetitive behaviors that are prevalent within Rubinstein-Taybi syndrome may be associated with problems in executive functions. You can find out more about the repetitive behaviors observed in individuals with Rubinstein-Taybi syndrome here. Executive functions are often broken down into three main types. 1. Inhibition. Being able to stop a previously learned or impulsive behavior. 2. Working memory. Being able to hold information in mind for a particular task. 3. Attention shifting. Being able to move attention away from one situation to another.
My name is Jus Permata. I want to tell you about audiolingual method and cognitive learning theory. Audiolingual method has been known since 1940 in America. The audiolingual method generally uses the oral appraise. The distinctive feature of the oral appraise is that it uses pattern practice, exercise or imitating and remembering. The audiolingual method is oriented towards the result of the analysis of the language structure and its comparison between the learner's mother tongue and the foreign language they are learning. Determine sentence patterns that he must learn and get used to the language he has just learned by using draw exercise, especially pattern practice. Learners are required to imitate and remember or memorize the teaching material they have obtained. Learning material is given from easy, gradual to difficult material. How to use the audiolingual method is as follows. 1. Practice pattern practice at a tempo that suits the circumstance. 2. New vocabulary is taught through the use of previously taught sentence patterns. 3. The use of sentence pattern outside what has been taught is not wrong. Cognitive learning theory explains learning by focusing on the change in mental process and structures that occur as a result of attempts to make sense of the world. Cognitive learning theory is used to explain simple tasks such as remembering telephone numbers and complex such as solving obscure problems.
That was a presentation from our group. I'm so sorry for our mistakes. I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. If you have questions, you can write them in the discussion forum. Thank you for your great attention. May all those we have shared be beneficial for all of us. See you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.